Hey Grace, guess what? We're gonna go out with Lena. Hey guys, so today, or for a couple hours or an hour or something like that, I'm going to a library book sale with Alina. You like my little braid that makes me look even more like I'm 12, but my hair's crazy. So yeah, Alina's here. She's been stuck in traffic, so I didn't know that. So I'm gonna finish packing up my stuff and get going. I'm excited. We finally made it to the book sale. What do you think, Grace?
What are you doing?
I'm blogging. What are you doing? Alina's judging me right now.
She's got it really bad. My earphones.
You're what? Alright, I gotta get you. Wait, was I? Oh, I unbuckled my seatbelt already. I'm like losing my mind right now.
Sorry, dog's so cute.
Thank you. Alright guys, so I didn't really film much inside because there was a lot of like elderly people and children inside, and they're kind of weird about cameras, understandably. Also, I would have had to go through the process of blurring kids' faces out. My lungs hate me right now, but I got a lot of really good books, and I spent less than $30, which was still more than I should have spent. But at the same time, like, I literally, you guys have no idea how much stuff I got. It was so good. Because, like, books were either were 25 or 50 cents, depending on if they were, like, paperback or hardback. Here's Alina. Yeah. Alina got a win with 50 Shades of Grey.
No, it's not for me. I'm reselling it.
Yeah. It's a really good thing I'm in graduate school because I'm going to be honest with you, filming on my couch is really difficult. I'm literally using textbooks to stack underneath my little tripod. So hold on, let me get a few more. Okay, I'm back. As I said in my last video, which was like that live stream type deal, rant thing, yeah, I'm going to show you everything that I got at the book sale earlier in this video. What? We literally just went outside. Like, you have only not been panting from your walk for like 5 minutes. What could you possibly be whining about? I swear to God, she's never needy. She'll like sit silently for hours. Like just chew on her toys, lay there, or like I will literally like have a heart attack because I feel like she, like some like evil house elf like stole her and I don't know where she went because she's so quiet. But the second the camera comes on, I don't understand my life. Okay, so here we go. I've tried to separate them into categories because, like I said, I got 60 books at this book sale because I have no self-control. But I got 60 books and spent less than $20. So, I mean, while I should not have been spending money because I'm poor, worth it. Yeah. Okay, so I tried to divide them up into categories, and I'm like looking, the closest category to me right now is like the misfit category, but I feel like there we go. I feel like that should be last. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, but it's the closest to me at the moment, so maybe we'll start with it. So I feel like I should I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not going to give a synopsis of anything. At least I'm going to try not to. Again, I have no self-control when it comes to books, so I guess we'll find out. But there's 60 books here, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the nonfiction slash instructional slash misfit category slash politics category. So we're just going to accumulate that all up and call it the misfit category. So pale. I'm so pale, guys. It's August. It's the middle of August. Hashtag that natural blonde life. So, first off in the misfit category was everything you pretend to know and are afraid people will ask. I just thought this was funny. And it's just like one of those little factoid books. It's like, have you ever heard of, like, I don't know. It's one of those little factoid books, like, that people think are common knowledge, but, like, really have no idea what they're talking about. The second book is a conspiracy theories book called Everything is Under Control. Conspiracies, Cults, and Cover-Ups with the Illuminati on the front. I could not pass this up. I have this weird obsession with watching, like, documentaries and stuff about conspiracy theories and cults. I am not, like, a conspiracy theorist or an anarchist or anything like that. I definitely do, as somebody that's getting their master's degree in political science, I definitely do know that there are a lot of things in the U.S. especially that are conspiratorial when it comes to the government, like our nutrition guidelines and just our medical system and things like that. It's not really done by the people for the people. It's very much basically whatever's going to make the people in power the most money, which I can make another video on that, but it's going to turn into a rant if I keep going, so let's just move on. Third, I like watching documentaries about, like, crazy cults and conspiracy theories, like those videos where you're like, what are you thinking? Sometimes, like, they're hysterical to me, sometimes they're just interesting, and sometimes I end up yelling at the TV out of the stupidity of the people that are talking. It's not meant to be judgmental. It's just the honest truth. So, this book was $1. I couldn't pass it up. Oh, by the way, all of the paperbacks that I'm going to be showing you were $1. Hardbacks were 50 cents, with the exception of, like, the really large hardbacks, which I will do next. There's 3 of them. Oh, well, there's 2 larger hardbacks, and then 1 that's like a paperback, because they're like instructional books. The 2 of them were $1, one of them was 50 cents. So, but other than that, paperbacks were 25 cents, hardbacks were $1. So, that would be why I bought 60 books. So, the next 3 are the instructional portion of this category, and they are all letting my inner old lady shine through. So, the first one is weekend knitting. When I started working in the financial aid office at my undergraduate university, there are obviously certain times of the year when there's a lot of people calling about financial aid. I worked in the call center, and there's obviously certain times of the year where it's basically dead and we can sit there and do homework and talk and, like, just hang out. And I made some really good friends that way. The girls I became really good friends with was really into crocheting. And so there was, like, our little friend group that we made that all trained together and got hired in together. We got into, like, the dead season. She taught us how to crochet, and so recently I have been learning how to knit instead of crochet. I'm pretty decent at it, but a lot of the time I choose to use a loom instead of free knitting, so I thought this would be fun and nice to have to help me with the free knitting things I tend to struggle with. Also, it was literally $1, so actually I don't even think it was, I can't remember, but we'll just say it was $1 because it was either 50 cents or $1, so I couldn't pass it up. It's chock full of great info. I wonder how much it was originally. It doesn't have, like, the price on it. Oh, it was originally $40. So, glad I bought that. The second one is the Yarn Girl's Guide to Kid Knits. So basically I got this for the same reason, free knitting, and because I like to knit things for Carter, my little brother that's 10. He enjoys it. I've knitted him a scarf and a hat and things like that. But I would like to knit more complex things, things that speak to him. I've knitted and sewn him a few things that are gymnastics related because he was a gymnast from the time he was like 3 until this past school year, because he has now had 5 concussions. So clearly, like, that kind of just takes gymnastics off the table, which for him was sad at first. He was one of those kids that literally since he was 4, he's been saying, I'm going to go to the Olympics. So it was kind of hard for him. He hasn't let me take down any of his gymnastics decorations that are in his room at my apartment, or any of his gymnastics decorations or medals at his room at home. Like, everything's still up. And so a couple months ago, I suggested fencing, and I signed him up for a fencing package lesson, a package of fencing privates. because he's very, very intelligent, and it's something that, like, I would be so impressed if he managed to get a concussion fencing. Like, so I was like, okay, very low risk of head injury, and he's smart, and it takes a lot of hand-eye coordination, which gymnastics builds up, because he also did try diving, because there's a lower risk of concussion in diving than in gymnastics, but because of the head injury, just like flipping through the air right now was just not a good idea. So we started fencing, and so I want to be able to make him some new stuff that has fencing on it, and I figure because my knitting skills are getting better and I have this, why not get the one that is good for kid sizes? That was a really long explanation of my youngest brother's sports history. But anyway, he loves fencing now, so I'm glad he's found something he likes. I'm gonna have to, I'm rambling. I'm never gonna get through this. This is gonna be ridiculous to edit. The last instructional book is Simplicity, Simply the Best Sewing Book. Again, my aunt got me a sewing machine for my birthday 2 years ago, and so I've been really into sewing since then, and I just felt like this was a good, like, comprehensive book with patterns and how to create patterns and all these things that, like, I've looked for online. And you can find some videos, you can find some free stuff, but for the most part you have to pay, and even though it's like really cheap, like $1.99 for like a pattern or like an instructional whatever, it was literally 50 cents for this whole book on everything that I've ever wanted to know. So this is the remainder of the misfit category, and this is really just a hodgepodge of weirdness, so we're gonna try to get through this fast. First is Christmas bedtime stories. I feel like having a 10-year-old brother, this is pretty self-explanatory. The next one is boys will put you on a pedestal so they can look up your skirt. A dad's advice for daughters. With a foreword by Katie Couric. I just thought this was hysterical. The hipster handbook. My best friend, Heather, calls me an accidental hipster because glasses, the clothes I wear, the music I listen to, the things that I like, I'm a vegan. All of those things are very, like, hipster-esque. But I don't do them to be outside of the mainstream or to be ironic, like, at all in any way, shape, or form. They're just, like, things that I like. I don't know. I like some mainstream stuff too. But that's just my personality. And like purposes with, I've been a vegetarian since I was 11 and I went vegan in college, so definitely not a hipster trait. So she calls me an accidental hipster because everything about you screams hipster, but, like, you're missing the hipster, like, core, which is the attitude of why you like those things. So she calls me an accidental hipster because the things that I like are very hipster-esque, but I don't have the personality of a hipster, and I don't like those things to be outside the mainstream or trendy or whatever. So I thought this was really funny, and I had to buy it. Collins' Concise Dictionary Quotations. I really enjoy quotes. The United Nations and How It Works. This was in the political section. It was 20 cents. It's very old, but as somebody who is getting their master's degree in political science, obviously I already know how the United Nations works. You can never have enough books to cite. Yes, We Can, about Barack Obama. This was actually in the children's section, so it's like a abridged biography of Obama. I wanted it because I think Obama was an amazing president. Also political science. Also I want it for Carter. Also I want it for my kids someday. So 25 cents. Can't pass that up. Essential Bernie Sanders and His Vision for America. I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primaries of the 2016 elections. I voted for Clinton in the presidential election because Sanders didn't make it through as the nominee. But again, accidental hipster. But Bernie Sanders book for a quarter, obviously. The ISIS crisis. We're just going to put this one over here. I'm going to be really honest. It was 25 cents. I don't know what perspective this book was written from, so I don't know if it was like an extreme alt-right neo-Nazi person that wrote this book, but I mean, they're not getting anything. Oh, it was Moody Publishers from Moody Bible Institute, so I might have just bought something that makes me want to stab people. You can never have too many perspectives when researching, and frankly, to be successful in any type of activism or debate or anything, you need to know your opposition side. So even if this is written in the perspective of what is completely ignorant, racist bias, which it may be, it may not be, and I'm not going to base that on, I mean, I myself would classify myself as a Christian. I don't like organized religion at the moment, but I believe in God. So, and I'm not going to classify, like, if you're a Republican, you're automatically a racist, and you automatically are ignorant about Islamic terrorism, because if you recall, I was in 4th grade when 9/11 happened, and if you recall George W. Bush, when he came on and gave the declaration of war, he specifically stated, we are not at war with Muslims or Islam or Islamic people. We are at war with a terrorist, extremist ideology. And he was a very Republican president, which I think people give him too much slack, even though I'm a Democrat, or not slack, I think people are too hard on him. I am a Democrat, but again, that's another video for another time. So anyways, political, relevant, I had to buy it. A race anthology, dispatches and artifacts from a segregated city. I've always been really interested in civil rights, equal rights, racial discrimination and bias, and I actually would like to write a book on the subject, considering how relevant it is today in today's culture. Wake up, you're liberal. I was raised in a very Republican family. Very Republican. Very Republican. The Republican Party of Trump era is not the Republican Party. So I would have said I was a Republican probably until my sophomore year of college, when I realized you're not a Republican at all, you're fucking vegan. Like, that in itself means you're not a Republican. Like, but this is basically just a commentator basically, you know, commenting on the ridiculousness that is the Republican Party today. And this was written prior to Trump, so to my knowledge, hold on, let me double check that. Yeah, this was written right prior to Trump. This was written in the Bush era. But it's basically just stating, you know, like, most Republicans nowadays are technically Democrats, but the Republican Party keeps pushing the party on them with economic ideals that have been proven time and time again not to work, which again, I can get another video on that. I said I was not going to synopsis his books. I said I was not going to give summaries of these books, and look at me, now The last one in this misfit category is the Poor Dancer's Almanac. I couldn't pass this up. I can't handle my life right now. I have a problem. Hello, Gracer. The next category I'm going to do are the French children's books I bought, because I'm just going to, like, fly through them. I'm not going to show you all of them. There are 20 of them. I studied French in college. It was one of the things I studied in college. I studied global communications, French. I was actually a biology major until halfway through my junior year of college, and then I switched to global common French and minored in dance. But anyways, so I speak French. I studied abroad in France. I love French, and I've been trying to get my little brother to learn French for years, but there's not a whole lot of resources that are readily available for kids trying to learn foreign languages in my area. So I found literally an entire table of French kids books. Couldn't pass it up. So this first one is kind of like a highlights style little, like, magazine book dealio. It's got Histoire Vraie, which is just like, it's got historical stories in it, like true history stories, abridged versions with, you know, little comics and games and timelines and crossword puzzles and things like that. It's very much similar to highlights in the United States. I don't know if there's highlights in other countries. I think there is. I'm not sure. The next one are these two little book series about a little girl named Loulou Condine, au Pays de Heidi, Pipole Enfantu. These are all just like little story activity books. I actually got him one of this brand when I was in France. So yeah. So I got him all of these that are like, this is just like mom and baby, animals to know. Again, this is animals on the farm. And then these are just, this is animals on the farm, and these are birds, like backyard birds. Okay, these are, oh, familiar animals, so like pets. And it was an activity book, and it's just like a fun detective, and this is actually one that it's meant to teach French. Whoever owned this previously drew Angry Birds. It's a really good artist for a child. Okay, these are two more like actual storybooks. Un petit frère pour Joséphine, au Jardin du Luxembourg. And then these three are like workbooks, like summertime workbooks. Have you ever seen, for people in the United States, have you ever seen those books where, or like obviously anywhere in the world, you know those books where like, they're for kids like in the summer, so that they're not just doing nothing with their brains all summer, and they're keeping up on schoolwork for like the next grade or the grade that they were just in, so that they're not like trying to just recap for the first month of school. These are kind of that, but for French. So like this one is handwriting, reading comprehension, and math. Actually not sure what this one contains. I feel like it's the same. Yeah, so it's right, it's, maybe it's just math, which is fine because he likes math, so getting him to do math while in French would be nice. So that one's just math. This one is everything. So it's French as in like how in the United States or in the UK you take English, French, math, history, geography, science, civics, and then there's like a review section, and then in the back is like all the answers. Okay, the final section is like actual like novel literature type book things. Yeah, there are a few children's books in here. I'll explain why when I get to them. If you watch my booktube newbie tag, which you totally should, I'll link that down below in the description. You will know why already, but I'll explain it again. So let's get started. And I bought some middle grade books just because sometimes like when I don't feel good and I'm having a headache, they're nice to read quickly. So the first one is a middle grade book, and it's called Click Here to Find Out How I Survived 7th Grade. Okay, so I guess I only bought 2 Faulkners. I thought I bought 3. So I bought The Sound and the Fury by Faulkner and As I Lay Dying. An abridged junior classics version of Treasure Island, because this was more for Carter. Ken Kesey, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. The Friday Night Knitting Club by Kate Jacobs. I've actually had this on my book list on Amazon for quite a while, so I found this for a quarter and I snatched it up. Keeping the Moon by Sarah Dessen. I'm going to be really honest. I do not remember putting this in my basket. I don't remember buying it. I told that to Alina when like they pulled it out, and I was like, I don't remember buying that, but it's fine because I love this author. She is one of the few YA contemporary authors that writes a lot about romance that I actually enjoy reading, her and Susan Colasanti, because of the way that they write. I think I just really like their writing styles. I'm still not a fan of the romance in books, but what else? I think I got, oh yeah, and I got another Sarah Dessen book that I remember. Oh, this is a signed copy? What? Yeah! Dude, I didn't even know that! That's super exciting. Okay, this is called Lock and Key. Canterbury Tales by Chaucer. Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I can talk, I swear. Another copy of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in hardback, because actually all of my Harry Potters are paperback. Hemingway, Garden of Eden. Number the Stars, Lewis Lowry. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Out of Africa, Isak Dinesen. Jekyll and Hyde, Robert Louis Stevenson. Emma by Jane Austen. Sorry, my camera died, so I had to switch out the battery. Shopaholic Takes Manhattan by Sophie Kinsella. David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Okay, and now the last 4 are books from the Amazing Days of Abby Hayes series. If you have watched my BookTube newbie tag, which again you should, it'll be in the description. As a kid, this was the first series that really got me into reading in elementary school, and so I owned all of the books until the ones that were published like when I was in high school. As I've moved over the years, I moved out of my house. I moved away from home very young for various reasons, and so like as I've moved throughout the years, some of them have gotten misplaced. I don't know what's happened to some of them. Also, I've had them since I was in elementary school, so you know, some of them might have just gotten messed up, like whatever. So I've been trying to A, fill in the gaps of the collection, and B, get the ones that I missed because they were still coming out when I was much older. Because A, I like having a complete series, and B, because I want them for my kids. Assuming that I have, well, adopt kids, I'm never giving birth to anything ever in my life. I want them for my children one day. Because I love these so much, and they're what inspired my love for writing and reading. So I literally like was like, oh, no way, when I saw them in the book sale, and people like stopped and looked at me, which if you have social anxiety, you know how like horrifying that is, but I was so excited when I saw 4 of them. So yeah, that is the last 4 books of my 60 book haul for under $20. I'm very pleased with this madness. I need to get some more bookshelves. Never too many books, just not enough shelves. Let me know if you've got any good hauls in the comments below. Let me know if you have read any of these books, if you want to read any of these books, what books stood out to you. Really, just chat with me. You know, whatever you want to say. If you want to talk about how your favorite color is orange, that's fine. My favorite color is purple. Like, that's chill. Or really, my favorite colors are like gray and like black. But if we have to pick a real color, it's purple. I just wear gray and black a lot, and I decorate in gray and black a lot. This is totally irrelevant, but whatever you want to comment below, go ahead and comment. I love interacting with you guys. I love being part of the booktube community, and I hope you enjoyed this rambling mess of a video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell right next to it to make sure you get notified every time I post a new video. And of course, give this video a thumbs up. It helps more than you know. And again, comment whatever you want in the comments below, but keep it positive, please. Okay, I think that's it this time. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye! What do you think, Grace? Mommy buy too many books? No, never. Yeah.
A thriving flower is all I ever hold. We will go on and carry out what we have been told. You'll see I do things that seem like a make do, but old names for the thing that we got into.